Okay, in this video, I'm going to be going over UFC Fight Night, Aaron Blanchfield versus Maycee Barber, but it ended up being UFC Fight Night, Gamrot versus Ludovic Klein, because Maycee Barber decided to pull out last second because she had a seizure or something, which has never happened before in all my years of watching UFC. We've never had the main event get canceled right before walkouts. So it was a really weird thing to happen. But at the same time, I'm not like horribly mad at it. It wasn't a main event that I was super excited for, to say the least. If this was going to happen to any main event in UFC history, to be honest, this is the perfect timing. If this was going to happen, which it was bound to happen at least once, thank God it was this event with this main event. And it capped off a perfectly shit card because the rest of it was super ass. Besides like a couple fights, Dustin Jacoby carried the card. And we're going to go over the main card in this video. The only card that I predicted was the main card, so we're going to go over that. I did okay on predictions, so we're going to get into it. We're going to start with Zachary Reese versus Dusko Todorovic. So, Dusko instantly went for the grappling. He excelled in the first round. He didn't he like held Zachary Reese and went for guillotines a bunch, but he grapple fucked Zach Reese in a very non-dominant way, I would say. But he did win the round with grappling. In the second and third, Zachary Reese edged out the rounds in the striking department. He hit him with more powerful shots. Dusko would like react to every single one of Zachary Reese's shots. He was hitting him with mean body kicks over and over. But at the same time, he looked really sloppy, and so did Dusko. Dusko's hitting Zach back, but it just didn't have the same pop or reaction that Zach's shots were causing on Dusko, and he was just landing a little bit more. It was kind of boring. It was really sloppy, but Zachary Reese gets it done by decision in the second, due to the second and third round, just outstriking Dusko on the feet. His shots were a lot more powerful than Dusko's, so he gets it done by decision. It's what I picked to happen. I thought it was going to be a knockout. Dusko went for the grappling instantly. He had a game plan in mind, but he couldn't execute it in the second and third round, and he could barely really execute it in the first. Zach was getting up over and over as well. So I'm glad I got this one right. Dusko needs to reevaluate, it seems. Next, Ketlen Vieira versus Maycee Chasson. I went with Maycee. I was wrong. Ketlen Vieira was able to grapple her, which is the story of many WMMA, women's MMA fights, is grappling trumps all. It trumps everything. If you can get a girl down, you win the round. If you can get her down consistently, you win the fight. Because they won't be able to get up 95% of the time. So it's pretty much whoever shoots first wins in women's MMA. And Ketlen Vieira shot first, got Maycee Chasson down. Maycee Chasson did a little bit more on the feet at times, but Ketlen controlled it on the ground. It was boring. Nothing really happened. And yeah, Ketlen Vieira wins 106 total strikes to 52 due to ground and pound. Yeah. Ketlen Vieira gets it done. Next, Dustin Jacoby versus Bruno Lopez. So, Dustin had the highlight of the card by far. He knocked out Bruno Lopez in spectacular fashion. He pretty much just caught him with a jab in the first round, really early into the first round, caught him with a jab, then blitzed him, then hit some clean shit on the inside against the fence while clinching, and then just started throwing like crazy, throwing fucking forearm punches like a madman, and clipped Bruno on the chin and put him away. This was the best part of the card. I picked Dustin Jacoby to win. I was very happy and excited. I think Dustin's no joke. He's actually fucking solid for his age and he's been in a lot of fights and he's been knocked out a couple times, but he is the real deal. He arguably beat Khalil. He loses to good fighters, and he's now knocked out two power punchers in Bruno Lopez and Vitor Petrino back to back. That's very impressive. I can't wait to see what Dustin Jacoby does next. Because he's honestly super entertaining at light heavyweight. And he's putting on some crazy performances. And he's at this point in his career, he's either a knockout or get knocked out type of fighter. He's either going to go to sleep or put someone to sleep And that's all I want to see. All I want to see is someone get put to sleep, no matter who it is. And Dustin's fights seem to have that happen a lot lately. So I'm excited to see what he does next. Shoot him up the rankings. Fuck it. It'll be funny if he just starts knocking everybody out. I really like Dustin, and he saved the cards. He saved the card from a miserable defeat of no fun at all. So thank you. Next, Billy Ray, and he didn't get a performance bonus, which is insane. But the UFC is just managing their resources and their promotion and everything really horribly right now. It's really looking bad. It's really bad. But I won't dwell on that right now. Next, Billy Ray Goff versus Ramiz Brahimaj. So I picked Billy. I thought it was going to be a scrap on the feet, which it was for a second, but there's a lot of grappling. Ramiz went for a takedown instantly, got it. They got back up. He got two he got two takedowns. He went for three, and Billy Ray Goff also went for one, and he got guillotined at some point in the fight. Is pretty much what happened. Billy Ray would not stop going for guillotines or like going for takedown, like weird, awkward cage control takedowns, and Ramiz kept going for the guillotine, and it kept kind of working, but Billy didn't really adjust. Ramiz kept going for it. He eventually synced it up, reversed, and then cranked hard, and Billy died and instantly passed out and was out completely cold from a guillotine from Ramiz Brahimaj, which is insane considering he got just dominated by Themba Gorimbo. And it's weird. Billy Ray is probably not going to do very good going forward in the UFC. Ramiz, I don't rate super highly, and he was able to standing guillotine Billy Ray, which doesn't happen very often, especially in the lower weight classes. Welterweight's like the cap of where I'd expect that to happen. I guess featherweight is fucking Gene Silva did it to Bryce Mitchell, but it rarely happens. And Ramiz got it done. Billy Ray just slumped out cold. I thought something happened to him because he went out really fucking fast, it seemed. But I know blood chokes don't take very long. But I thought he like snapped his neck or something because he went out cold fucking instantly. But then I saw the replay and his face was beet red. And yeah, it was clear that he just like was trying to spaz out of it and probably hyperventilated and like freaked out and then just passed out instantly. There's a lot of pressure in these fights, I'm sure. And I'm sure it doesn't help your blood flow to your brain. So, Ramiz gets it done by the submission. Cool. I got it wrong. Next, Gamrot versus Ludwig Klein, our main event of the evening. So, Gamrot was able to grapple fuck Ludwig Klein for all 3 rounds, which is what he was going to do. It's how he was going to win. It's his path to victory in every fight. And he was able to do it against Ludwig Klein. He went for 11 takedowns. He got 6, 142 total strikes to 85. Gamrot dominated in the grappling department. Ludwig Klein had his moments on the feet. Obviously, he always does have good moments on the feet. But Gamrot was honestly having good moments on the feet too, especially in the 3rd round. He was starting to test stuff out. But his main highlight, which he always utilizes, is his grappling and his ability to hold you on the ground. And he's done it to so many fighters. He's done it to Arman Tsarukyan, Dan Hooker at times. He arguably won that fight. I thought Hooker won off of damage, but he arguably won that fight. He beat Tsarukyan, arguably lost. Gamrot goes through a lot of close decisions where he either wins or loses, and it's super fucking close, and it could go either way. But what he always consistently does is hold his opponent down for a pretty significant amount of time. And Ludwig Klein has been getting held down by shit cans, so it made sense that this was going to happen. I did have my doubts on Gamrot's chin, and I thought Ludwig Klein might be able to find it. But if Dan Hooker can't find it, if Tsarukyan can't find it, he's pretty good on the feet too. If Beneil dropped him but couldn't finish him, is Ludwig Klein going to finish him? I don't really think so. So he didn't. He didn't finish him. And Gamrot was able to implement his game plan, which works very well, but at the same time is extremely boring and is the reason he's nowhere near a main event or nowhere near the belt. And he's had to go through so much competition to get anywhere in the UFC is because he's so fucking boring. The UFC doesn't like boring unless I don't. There's some boring fighters they like, but the UFC is weird right now and is deciding to do some bullshit. Just so many weird matchups and horrible management, it seems. And Gamrot, yeah, I don't even know what I'm talking about. But Gamrot didn't call out Arman Sarukian on the mic. He called out, I think, who did he fucking call out? He called out Paddy Pimblett, which is, it's a fight, but it's not going to happen. Paddy Pimblett's in his own world, star-wise. He's going to get a brawler like Gaethje. I would have called out Sarukian because I think the UFC wants to punish Sarukian as of right now for ruining that event, and they don't really like him. I don't think right now. I think they probably would have rebooked this fight for the rematch because Gamrot already has a win against him. It makes a lot of sense to kind of get the ball rolling for Sarukian, and they could do Gaethje versus Pimblett, and then you could do Topuria Oliveira, which is happening, and then everything can kind of be figured out a little bit. But I do think they'll still do that even without the call out. Because I don't really think that I think they really hate Sarukian right now. But that's pretty much the card because Aaron versus Maycee didn't happen. Aaron Blanchfield was not happy about this and talked a bunch of shit about Maycee, which is kind of funny. But Maycee did have a seizure backstage, which is a good excuse to pull out of a fight, I would say, but it's also odd that she was able to get there knowing that she had some crazy disease or some shit. In the build up to this fight, they were talking about how Maycee overcame some crazy disease that brought her like mercury levels up to some crazy degree and like she had all these issues. I didn't know that when I picked her. So it was a really bad pick on my part, but it didn't happen anyway, so it's okay. But she didn't even make it to the octagon. She went through this whole sickness. She got cleared to fight. She missed her weight cut, which should have been a fucking warning sign from the beginning. She had surgery to get fake boobs and then didn't make it to the walkout because she had a seizure. I don't think Maycee Barber is going to really... I don't know if Maycee Barber is going to fight again, to be honest. That's not looking good. She has some unknown pathogen or some weird fucking deal with her that made her bedridden for a long fucking time and completely ill. And then she had a seizure before she walked out. She ruined this main event. I wouldn't trust her in a main event again. I wouldn't have, knowing any of this, why would you have booked her as a main event at all in the first place? Knowing she has some crazy sickness, why are you booking her as a main event? Why are you booking any women's fight as a main event ever? It's like promotional death. But I get it a little bit in the inclusivity part of it, but Maycee Barber should be nowhere near a title, or a fucking, not a title either, but a main event ever again. So, that's about it. We have a Gamrot main event in 2025. Not awesome. Very not. But UFC 316 is next, and I'm very excited. I'm going to predict it tomorrow, and I will see you soon.